everyone, how's everyone doing? I am so excited to be here today. I actually have something new. I did not put this on order for It Works, but my reoccurring order for It Works is essentially letting me try something new, which is one of them is a skinny brew. And so I've been wanting to try it, but I haven't done it. So I'm really kind of excited to get the chance to do it today. So I guess I'm going to taste it live to see if I like it better than the keto coffee. I actually have pretty cool news to report. So for those of you who are still trying to debate on if it actually does work, and it does, right? I am already down a dress size. And I think you can kind of even see some of it in my face. Okay, so this definitely, as a frock, this definitely blends better than the keto coffee. So for those of you who may have like the film kind of a thing that kind of bothers you a bit, and tomorrow I'll try the chai tea. I'm gonna be perfectly honest with you. I hate chai tea. So the concept of sending me chai tea is kind of like, no, right? So that's kind of funny. And I'm gonna still do iced coffee because I just think that the iced coffee is something that tastes better. So let's just try it. I mean, it smells more rich. It smells like I need sugar. So let's see. It's definitely much more bitter than the keto coffee. So I'm gonna have to take some time to get used to it. But definitely the iced coffee is gonna be better because of the flavor. I am happy to report that this is going to be my last glass of the V8 green juice. Ugh. Struggle juice is what I need to call it. The struggle, uggle juice. Anywho, I wanted to give a, kind of like a moment to talk about a little review on my life as an ice cream sandwich. I actually like the book quite a bit, and it's another kid's book. It's about 250 pages, and it is, to me, in my mind, an ode to nerdom, and as you are growing up and you may not fit in very well. Now, I know it's set in 1984 is where it starts. I would like to tell you that as a kid, as an only child, I read a lot. A lot. Eventually, I did get into writing poetry. I even went to UCLA, short story writing. And so I did like to write short story, but I always kind of based my short stories in reality. I was a nerd, but I wasn't a nerd. I wasn't a sci-fi nerd. I'd watch sci-fi. I liked sci-fi, but I wasn't into sci-fi like this young little girl is. And I think the biggest story here is, nerds in the 80s, we were kind of made to feel awkward. And so as you're trying to fit in, as you're trying to kind of, navigate where you are in the world, it is a bit of a problem, and I don't relate to her struggle, but I can understand her struggle in trying to figure out who she is. And the cool thing I love about her is that she likes what she likes and she doesn't care. And I think my mother dated someone before, and he actually expressed a concern about how much I read. And he was like, is she trying to forget reality? And Mom's like, she's gonna read. So that didn't work for her. But his son, by the way, did not read. And so I think maybe he's just never understood this concept of like why a person would be reading as much as I did. And my love for books. He actually took me to see Rosa Parks. So she spends a lot of her time living in fantasy world, and she looks at other people and saying like, hey, why aren't you spending time in your fantasy world? Like, you should be spending time in fantasy. You know why? Because fantasy is cool, imagination is cool, and I just love that. It's unfortunate that we don't allow children to spend more time in the world of fantasy, and I just love it. Like, I love that concept. Overall, I think this is like, yeah, it's a really cool book. Oh, I know what I wanted to talk about too. Perry Mason. I'm gonna drink my Skinny Brew, and I'm committing because you know why? Because I think that having sugar is not a good way to add to this. There's only 10 calories in one packet, so adding sugar and stuff, it defeats the whole purpose. So I'm good. For those of you who are concerned, it's French roast coffee. It's soy-free, vegan, non-GMO, and there's no artificial flavoring or colors. It's a fat burning. It comes in a container that'll look like this if you decide to order it, which you should. And the goal is that it helps burn fat, you feel more energized, it enhances your metabolism. It's a little on the bitter side. So for those of you who really like maybe black coffee, this is up your alley. But I can understand if you want to do like maybe some non-dairy creamer or something to that. Just be careful because it may add to your calories, and then the whole purpose is. So I'm good. I do have non-dairy creamer actually, but I do have milk. But I am committing here to this, and I am committing that I am going to drink this straight. Because our goal is to get healthier and be better. Okay, so the review. Perry Mason. Actually, it's called Perry on HBO. I actually like it. It's a period piece. It is essentially Perry Mason before he becomes Perry Mason. And I think it's actually a pretty cool little thing. I highly kind of recommend the Perry Mason. I highly recommend people to become familiar with Perry Mason and Perry on HBO.
Mommy, are you almost done?
Like I said, it's a period piece before he became the TV show, what we know of Perry Mason.
Done, Mommy?
So anyway, I think it's a really cool show. I highly recommend you watching it on HBO Max. I like detective shows, And it is kind of like before he didn't have himself all together. It's like right after he got discharged and before he became, and as he was forming himself to become this infamous person who did all these investigations. So I'm actually not against the show. I think the show is kind of cool. You may find it pretty interesting. It's on episode 3 right now. I've finished all the way through episodes 3. So tonight should be episode 4. Check it out. I think it's pretty cool.
Where is how do
Drink it with your skinny brew. And there are no breaks in the show, so you can pick up the book. I'm gonna tell you though that I do have to. I've read 3 entertainment books. I think I may read one more book that's kind of entertainment, and then I gotta put a pause on that until I read some of my education books, because I need to do some edification for myself, and then I'm gonna get back to doing some reading, and I'll suggest some of these education books that I've been reading. I want to talk about I know a couple of them that I want to read is about student learning kind of a thing. So I'm going to work on reading a few of those because I think they're pretty interesting. Because I have some professional development that I need to craft. I got to get to work. And I'll probably do that today. I have a class starting. I said that's yesterday. I had a class starting on Monday with Kids College. My daughter has a class starting with Kids College. So it's working itself out, I guess. So we have 4 more weeks of school left of the summer, and then all whatever is gonna break out. I was hoping that we could get to Alabama this summer, but it looks like that's not happening, which is unfortunate. It kind of breaks my heart because I really wanted to be in Alabama this summer on Edmonds Bridge. But anyway, my son is pestering me consistently for this video to be over, and I think the inkling that he has is that he wants to tell you to like the video, share the video, and subscribe to the channel. Is that what you want to tell him, Sawyer? Okay, so go ahead and tell him. Come on, I'm done with the video.
The guy to start. Bye.
Bye. See you tomorrow.